Yes, sir. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go again. Your favorite cousins are back. Your favorite duo is now back in session. I'm your host, Cam Silver.
I am your co-host, Kyle Silver.
And we are the Silver Boys. So, Kyle,
So
we had ourselves a great weekend. The semifinals have concluded, and we're on to the conference finals. But before we get into all of that, just this morning, just got word that JB Bickerstaff is now out of the coach, now out as the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, that's big. I didn't see that one coming, to be quite honest. They made it to the conference, the conference semifinals, this season. Not really a terrible season in my estimation. Jared Allen was out, and then you had
Donovan going out.
Late in the series against the Celtics. Wasn't really much you could do. It's the Boston Celtics. We all expected them to win anyway,
Correct.
regardless of the injuries or not.
Correct.
But yeah, no, it's definitely a shock to see, but it's probably more than likely to keep Donovan Mitchell, as you just alluded to right before we started recording. It's interesting to see though. Definitely, I'm wondering who's going to be their next head coach.
Yeah, as they were fourth in the conference this year, 48-34. They won 7 games with Orlando. Lost to Boston in 5. So over the past 2 seasons, in the regular season, he's won 99 games. He's been tasked with rebuilding this Cleveland franchise, which I feel like he's done with flying colors. I feel like he overachieved to a certain point. Especially having Donovan Mitchell. Maybe they probably expected a little more, but you can't really expect much when you go against the Celtics in the second round.
Exactly.
There's only so much you can do, especially like we said, he was out for the last 2 games, and then Jared Allen wasn't able to play in that whole series, and then on the back end of the Orlando series, and there's a whole thing going on with that. That's another discussion for another day whenever we get able to talk about him specifically. But yeah, I was shocked to see it waking up this morning, because it just didn't make any sense to me. I don't think that he did anything bad in order for him to be fired at this point.
Exactly. I think that team was still on the up and up. Evan Mobley's still progressing. You keep Jared Allen healthy. Now you got 2 twin towers like you do in, in Minnesota. And if they could play off of each other well, then you got that. Which only comes with more time and playing,
Correct. And I feel like they did play with each other well. And to be honest with you, if they do have both big men against Boston, who's to say that they don't kick that thing to 7 again?
Exactly. Because Kristaps Porzingis for Boston.
Correct.
And Boston, having their...
And Boston already showed in those games that they were having trouble guarding Evan Mobley anyway.
Exactly.
So, then you have 2 guys like that. You have Evan Mobley doing his thing on the inside and now, and then you have Jared Allen controlling the boards as well, who's giving you a good, 12 to 15 points a game with another 10 to 12 rebounds. So it's some things that are just out of his control.
I can see it maybe more of a defensive minded coach coming in too.
Yeah,
I would say because like I said again, you got those 2 big bodies in there,
right?
And then now you just got to worry about your perimeter guards like Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, Karis LeVert, Donovan Mitchell if he does decide to stay. You bolster that a little bit more so that you're not allowing Boston to put up as many threes and make as many threes and whatnot. So.
Correct. Yeah. So they were 7th defense. They had 7th in defensive efficiency with Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, and Allen all on the floor. They only played 28 games together this season, but when they were all on the floor, they played pretty well defensively. So that does show maybe they will bring in a defensive coach, and hopefully this can keep Mitchell there. If not, then he's linked to other places like Brooklyn, the Knicks maybe even. So who knows? And one coach that they're saying to look at is Kenny Atkinson. He did coach Allen and Karis LeVert when he was back in Brooklyn. So that would be very interesting to see. Kenny Atkinson is a really good coach.
He is a very solid coach. Yeah, definitely.
But let's get on to these semifinals. First, we'll start off in the East with the Knicks. Last time we left off, we were at game 5, I believe, that we were talking about. Game 5, Knicks take care of the Pacers and they go up 3-2. Then game 6, Pacers win at home. 116-103, forcing Game 7. Then Game 7 comes, and boy, Pacers literally just could not miss. 67% from the field all game. In the first half, they shot 76.3%. There's really nothing you can do with that. Like,
ain't nothing you can do with that.
When you're making, 60 to 70% of your shots, it's like you're bound to just win the game.
Exactly. When they're raining an avalanche of threes on you, everybody's hitting. It's that energy and the atmosphere in the Garden probably had them hyped and stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Instead of like how it was earlier in the season when they like felt like probably a little jittery in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like now they came in full confidence. Especially with like all the Knicks, the entire Knicks roster being injured.
Right.
Jalen Brunson, Game 5 was like, Game 5 was a good game. Game 6, you could tell that like something just was not like everybody looked tired to me.
Yeah.
They didn't look like they had anything. Like genuinely, they didn't look like they had anything left.
Which is something that we always talk about when it comes to Tom Thibodeau's team.
Mm-hmm.
But keep going.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna put all of that blame on him because you're missing Julius Randle. You're missing Bogdanovich. You're missing
Mitchell Robinson.
Thank you, Mitchell Robinson. Like those are solid guys that you need. Bojan Bogdanovich is actually a really good defensive player.
Oh yeah.
Like he can stick and move when he needs to,
mm-hmm.
and he's a 3-and-D guy essentially. OG Anunoby being can't even walk up the court.
Yeah, he literally looked like an old man trying to get up and down the court. That was crazy.
He was only out there just to try.
That was insanity. Because I looked at him and I said, "No, please, just go sit down. Do not get back up. Go put your clothes back on."
Mm-hmm. And then Jalen Brunson with his fractured hand, Game 7, broken hand, fractured hand.
Yeah, he fractured it. Like I think it was in the second half. I think like third quarter.
That was tough. Tough blow. Josh Hart with the abdominal strain,
mm-hmm.
like that definitely hurt too.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Because that injury right there, that's just an injury where you just naturally have to heal from
mm-hmm.
it. It's not something you could really. It's not much you could do with it.
You can't, physical therapy through it or nothing. Yeah. So that's just like, I'm proud of the Knicks though, man, because they did their thing. They pushed it to 7. They got through, the 76ers. They were about to get through the Pacers if they had been healthy. If they even had OG fully healthy, they would have been fine. I genuinely think they would have been fine.
Yeah, no, I think they would have too. You could see in the beginning stages of the series that
OG was the difference maker.
Yeah. Like Siakam was only scoring he wasn't even scoring 20.
He really wasn't
at that time
mm-hmm.
until Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's had 26. Then he started going in. So if they had OG, if they had Julius, if they had Mitchell, if they had Bogdan, if they had, the injuries played a big part in it. Another thing is, they weren't able to create much without Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
They weren't able to create off the dribble
mm-hmm.
and things of that nature. Obviously that comes with part of Julius Randle being out as well with,
mm-hmm.
Someone like OG as well. But, that's another thing that they're probably going to have to look at, that I think that they will look at this season, is just getting another, maybe shooting guard next to Jalen Brunson
mm-hmm.
that can take off the weight off of him, because as amazing as he has been the whole playoffs, scoring 40, scoring 50, and that nature, you don't want to keep doing that, especially in the early parts, because
mm-hmm.
what happens is it wears on you.
It wears on you. Defenses start to make adjustments
mm-hmm.
all throughout the series. Like, some coaches are going to learn from previous series and whatnot, I don't really even think, which is, I'm going to say something real crazy, that Josh Hart and Donte DiVincenzo, low-key was supposed to be coming off the bench. Like, they were coming off the bench earlier this season. Yeah. They were coming off the bench. So now think about it, if you could have somebody else and then you could have Josh Hart still coming off the bench again, and he provides that spark along with Brunson, in the late stages of the first quarter, he sits out in late stages of the second quarter, he comes back in, but you get another star shooting guard, on side of Jalen Brunson, because at least that creates more shot-making opportunities.
Right.
And then even when Jalen Brunson needs to come out, Josh Hart could still bring up the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Let me shout out Donte DiVincenzo, though. That boy had 34 in Game 7. Though.
He was trying.
He was trying. He really was.
He had
really
39,
was.
Actually. 9 for 15 from 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, he was balling. So did Alec Burks, 26 points.
Yo, shout out Alec Burks, yo.
Yeah.
Always staying ready.
Staying ready.
Mm-hmm.
Staying ready,
mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's why I like this Knicks team. I think like they don't need much time. They don't need much they don't need many more pieces, to be quite honest. I really don't think so.
Just a couple little more complementary pieces, just scoring wise, and then also probably another big man.
Isaiah Hartenstein better come back.
Oh yeah.
He better come back.
Yeah, he has to. Need him badly.
If you don't get him back, like where it's not going to be a good situation.
Unless you could replace him with somebody that's equally as good.
That's the only way.
Which is going to be tough to do because
the only way you get rid of Isaiah Hartenstein is if you have somebody better at that big man position.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, he has to be equal or better.
Yes.
But shout outs to the boys. Shout out to those Knicks, man. You guys did your thing, yo, and more than proud of you guys. More than proud.
God.
But let's go to the West before we go back over to East and talk about the conference finals. So we left off with Game 5. Jokic and the boys got their third straight win. Game 6, Timberwolves just mauled the Nuggets by 45, winning 115-70, forcing a Game 7. And this Game 7 might have been my personal favorite game out of the whole playoff so far.
Tell me why.
You trail by 20 in the third quarter.
Then
after that, you go on a 28-9 run. And then out of the whole second half, you go on a 60-32 run.
That's disgusting.
Away. You're not home.
You're
in the Mile High City. Where every athlete will tell you that has ever played there that yes, the Mile High, yes, that takes a lot.
Yeah.
It takes a lot out of you. Like, what in the world, bro? Edwards didn't even have a great game either, which was the crazy part. But he came up with timely plays when needed. When
they needed most, those intangible plays, yep.
Those
non-box score plays.
They locked in on Jamal Murray, said, all right, you had enough fun in the first half. Let's shut this thing down. Only had 11 points in the second half. I think he had like 24, if I'm not mistaken, in the first half. Jokic did everything he could. But he was horrible. He was off from 3. He couldn't make a 3 to save his life.
From 3, not good. 13 for 28, 34 points on 28 shots, like that. Inefficient. Essentially, that's inefficient.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray, 27 shots, 35 points. Inefficient. We've seen Jamal Murray be a little bit more efficient.
One thing I'll say about the playoffs, I don't really care much about your efficiency. Like, me personally, I just don't care about it because at the end of the day, you just need to go make a bucket.
I agree with you.
Because, someone like Kobe didn't have great efficiency in the playoffs. But guess what? He made the buckets
when he needed to. I agree with you. I agree with you.
So that's why I don't go crazy with efficiency when it comes to the playoffs.
I look at it just in terms of because it tells a story of how easy are you getting your buckets though too.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are you taking tough shots or are you taking easy, not easy, but are you having a better
are you getting the shots
better
that you
looks?
need?
Are you just getting better looks?
Right.
Instead of taking contested fadeaways, taking contested shots that a Jokic was doing because of Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, Cat. Rudy Gobert should not be hitting turnaround shots. Number 1, that was wild.
That's when you knew that the game was over.
When that happened, I turned off my TV. I said, "Yep, they got it. Because what?
Hey, you know what they always say? In order to go on these runs, you need a little bit of luck.
Ain't that true? Yeah, no, but I think Minnesota did a really good job of covering, the others.
Yeah.
In terms of defending the others for the Nuggets, because nobody else scored in double digits. Aaron Gordon cannot have 4 points. Michael Porter Jr. 7 points, 3 for 12, 1 for 6 from 3. That can't happen.
He was all around just horrible the whole series.
After being so good against the Lakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he always does that. But then now you take the other position of looking at the Timberwolves, all five starters double digits. Even if Anthony Edwards didn't have a great game, he still got other people involved.
He still got the whole team involved. Still
7 assists.
8 boards, 16 points. Conley had 8 boards. You know what I mean?
That changed the whole game, him being back, because then Anthony Edwards doesn't have to facilitate like we were talking about.
Correct. Yeah, that was like I said, that was one of my favorites. Just to watch that run, just to watch them, everybody locked in. That was my favorite part about it. Now you got four guys from New Jersey in the Western Conference Finals. Like, what can you know what I mean? Like, what can you say? What can you say?
That's fire.
That's awesome.
Don't tell me Jersey can't put out hoopers now.
That's awesome.
Everybody know that.
Yeah.
Everybody know that.
Heck yeah. Hoops needs Jersey, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But going to the Celtics Pacers game. So game 1, Pacers had their game in their hands. Literally, it was literally in their hands, and they let it slip away. They were up by 3 in the final 30 seconds. They turned the ball over twice. Brown hits a 3 to send the game into overtime. Then after that, Celtics just take over by that point. Coach Rick Carlisle took the blame on himself for not calling that timeout. I think it was, 10 seconds left in the game. He didn't call a timeout in order to advance the ball. They advanced the ball in their backyard. And instead of Miles Turner ended up going to the corner instead of coming to
the ball.
And which is a basketball one-on-one mistake right there.
Go to the ball.
Go to the ball. That was 1. 2, Nembhard, if he was if he was more of a veteran, he could have just easily threw the ball off Drew Holiday's back. And then, came right back into the play.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that's also just something that you don't just like naturally think of too, because that's not something.
It's like one of those like back end like thoughts, like genuinely like that's like the last like resort type of thing.
Correct. But yeah, no, the Celtics consider themselves lucky in my opinion because.
Absolutely.
This Pacers team showed that, yes, we can stay with you. And to a degree, they might be better than them offensively. And I say that because look at the way the Celtics play offense versus the Pacers offense. The Celtics are very individual, one-on-one basketball. Where the Pacers, look, we're going to get this thing up, but everybody's going to get involved.
Everybody, all 5 guys are touching the ball at least twice on every possession if you really look at it.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking that first shot. Like, it's a lot of misdirection. It's a lot of drive, kick to the corner, drive, kick to the kick, drive, kick again. And then next thing you know, you freeze up dudes in the middle that they were able to, like, you know what I'm saying, just dish it off to down low. Miles Turner getting easy dunks. That's a bold, like, that's a good take.
It's a hot take.
It's a bold take, though.
But it's a... it's there.
In terms of like basketball fundamentals, though, and like
if you know the game and you know what you're really looking at, if you just take away the individual talent of Tatum, of Brown, of Holiday, and all of them, look at the way that Pacers are able to play. They're not here by accident. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
This isn't just obviously we're talking about how the Knicks got injuries and they didn't have more playmakers out and yada yada yada. But regardless. They didn't just make it to the in-season tournament championship for a reason. They didn't just make it up, to what were they, 4th, 5th, or whatever, in the playoffs for a reason.
I think they were 5th, yeah.
Actually, no, I'm sorry, that lied. That was Orlando Magic. They're under that.
They were 6.
I think they were 6. Yeah,
they were 6.
Yeah, they were 6.
They were like right above the play-in.
Correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're not here by accident. They traded for guys like a guy like Siakam for a reason. So,
seeing TJ McConnell versus Peyton Pritchard,
that's
I was like, let me find out these two dudes going at it.
That was awesome.
That was a night. I like those little stretches of like when the stars ain't in, like let's go.
Who's gonna win those bench minutes?
Exactly.
That's another big thing, right there.
Because both teams got great benches.
Yeah, but the Pacers were able to outlast them.
So like
on the bench,
yes.
So
which is
crazy. So if you know what I mean. So just a couple little minor mistakes. I think they had like 20-something turnovers. I think like 24 turnovers or something like that.
Yeah.
Think about it. Even Tyrese Halliburton said most of those were, and inflicted on themselves. They cut down, on like not even they didn't even have to cut down on half of them. You cut down on at least just a couple of them, just a few of them.
22 turnovers.
22?
Boston had 15.
Think about it. You cut those down to 16, 15 like Boston has. Guess what? You win that game. You might even run away with it a little more than just 3 points. So I think that this series is far from over. This was one of the times where obviously the Pacers would want to win that game. But this series is far from over. I remember my dad asked me this last night. He was like, if you're the Pacers, how are you feeling? Are you feeling down on yourself? Or do you know, like, hey, we can get these dudes. I'm like, no, we can get these guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would be sitting there. I'm sitting there licking my chops, waiting for Thursday
You
night.
mean to tell me we came this close and we did that many mistakes? Is what I'm saying.
To the team that everybody in their mind was talking about. Oh, it's finals or bust for them. Okay, word. Say less.
You cut down on like 5 late game turnovers.
You run away. You run away.
And they might beat them by 10.
Because guess what? Also, the Celtics got out to a 12-0 run in the first quarter.
That's right.
They go up by 12 again in the third quarter.
Yes.
Guess what? They can't sustain the lead against us. Yeah, all right, watch this. I'm licking my chops for the rest of this series if I'm the Patriots.
They should not be down on themselves whatsoever. They got it. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Which is scary. Which is really, really scary. Don't let Tyrese start getting...
Don't let Tyrese... Because Tyrese was having...
comfy.
He was having fun. 25 points, 10 assists.
I can't say that. My bad, Knicks.
Nah, we good. Like, we in the next series now. It's like 25 points, 10 assists. You know, Turner turned up. Literally, 23 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 for 4 from 3. When was the last time you seen Turner have 10 boards?
That boy, and that one, number one, he was hitting 3 after 3. He was wanting them too. He was wanting those threes. Yes. You could tell, like, it's a lot. The Pacers, like, they're looking to assert their dominance. I can tell, like, a lot too.
Yeah.
They're gonna try and run up and down on you, which is just their game. But ain't no reason why that they can't win this series though.
Yeah,
with that type of. You know what I mean?
I think they can.
If Jaylen Brown doesn't hit that 3 at the end, send it to OT.
Yeah.
What are we really talking about?
Because they were before that 3, it was brick after brick after brick coming from Boston. If they also another thing boxing out on the boards. Oh, that was another big thing.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't box out. The Pacers did not box out well.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
They have to box out really well
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of the series. If they're able to box out, they also win that game, in my opinion, too. Even regardless of the turnovers.
Yes.
But
I agree.
Ooh, that's a series.
That's
right
a 7.
That's
a 7.
That's a 6 to 7 right there, easily.
Yeah.
Mavs, Timberwolves. After Game 7, Ant said that he will more than likely take on that challenge of guarding Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving said yes. I was chilling with my family when I heard that. Obviously,
eating snacks.
Kyrie is gonna be Kyrie. He's gonna come out hot as he should. Shoot, in my opinion, if he comes out hot in the rest of the other 2 series that they had, they win those games before 6. In my opinion. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
OKC, they could have got OKC up out of there in 5. Who'd they play first? Oh, Clippers. Yeah, Clippers. Another one. I remember what was the game 4? I think it was. Yeah, game 4 when he had 40.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? He didn't get started until the second half.
Yeah.
If he got started in the first half, they win that game. They're up 3-1. They end that 1-5
Mm-hmm.
too. I think they could have gentlemen swept both games if he comes to play in the first
really
half.
does
All depends on him.
Yes.
Especially in the first half. Because guess what? You take the pressure off of Luka. Luka can close now.
Luka could go do his thing. He got fresh legs.
He got fresh legs into
the fourth.
There you go.
Clutch time. Like it's all him at that point.
Yep.
Kyrie was a big factor of that game. Of the way he, like you said, the way he was able to start, the aggressiveness that he came out with, looking to shoot the ball, not looking to like actually just defer to PJ Washington, trying to get him going early, trying to defer to Derek Lively. Like, Kyrie was like, hey, you want this? Let's go.
Come here.
Let's go. I'm gonna show you I'm a champion, brother.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Come here.
Let's go.
I got you. Yeah,
Nah, that matchup is gonna be interesting, just also to see how tired Anthony Edwards was.
Yes.
Because Kyrie had him in all these actions and all of these runaround things all over the court. Like
the pick and rolls, the down screens, the screens coming off, coming from the weak side to the strong side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
now all he got to do is just pass it right back to the strong side corner, weak side corner, like, you know what I mean? And then PJ Washington tucked in that corner and waiting. That's his spot. That left side corner.
That's easy for him.
My God.
That's money. I it's funny. I actually should look up what his percentage is from that corner. From both corners, as a matter of fact, because
he automatic from there. He's
been cashing out in the playoffs, this whole playoff series. So yeah, this was
eerily interesting because I really thought like Minnesota would do a better job with their bigs. Like, I really thought Cat hit some timely shots, some timely threes. He hit one from the logo.
Yeah, if there was a couple other threes that he could have hit too that just ended up rimming out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, like you said, I thought that they would have done a lot better.
I just thought like they would try to get Rudy Gobert involved in some like a little bit more action, like trying to back down, like having Karl Anthony Towns back down like these guys. Like these guys are so tall, dude. Like in Rudy Gobert and Cat, even Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards got to get going.
Yeah,
he cannot.
Yeah, hit one.
I think he had like 4. He took like 4 shots in the second half or something like that. Like he did not take a lot of shots in the second half.
One thing about him that I've noticed in this game alone by itself, they packed the paint on purpose for him not to be in there. So one thing that I would like to see him do a lot better, you don't always have to shoot that 3. Take one dribble in and hit that mid-range.
Yeah.
What do we always say? It's gonna end up being like our trademark at some point in time. Championships are won off of the mid-range.
Off the midi.
Championships are won off the mid-range. So my thing is with Edwards, like you don't have to sit there. Like I think his distance that he shot from was like, what was it, like 20-something feet. He was basically only shooting from 3. That's not your game.
It's not.
You could shoot the 3. He was 5 for 12. You could shoot it, but that's not your overall game. Step in. You know what I mean? Because guess what? You see with Kyrie and you see with Kyrie, you see guys KD, you see Kawhi. It's hard to guard that mid-range shot.
It really is. And Kyrie was hitting them things. Luka putting his shoulder into boys. You know what I'm saying?
Step back. His shoulder, spin around, fadeaway that he got, the step back 3.
And it's not Lou Dort either. Like, Lou Dort is a stocky, powerful defender. Jaden McDaniels, he's lengthy, but he not built. He not built like Luka.
Yeah.
Luka could just, and those late contests don't matter to him. That's what I'm worried about. Like, that's what I'm really worried about. Like, I think Mavs got it.
Yeah.
I think the Mavs got it.
Yeah, I think that they can catch them. I think they can
catch him slipping.
Yeah.
They can catch him slipping.
Yeah, I think overall, from the looks of it, this is just game 1. So obviously we can't overreact to it. We don't know. But from what we have seen just on this game, they could get them in 6. Easy 6, I think. But
for them to come in game 1 on your home court and to take the game 2, that speaks volumes. Speak volume sometimes.
In the way that they took it too.
Exactly.
108 to 105, It was a close game even though, Timberwolves didn't have their best game.
Exactly.
So, it's gonna be real interesting to see what their best game will look like going on. A couple minutes left. One thing I did want to talk about was the WNBA.
Okay.
They will be expanding to Toronto 2026. That's awesome.
That's very, very big. I'm very happy for him, actually.
Yeah.
The charter flight started too for him.
Yes.
It started this past week.
Yes.
Which is long overdue for these girls. Like that's fire. Yo, Fever 0-5. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a little wild, but they gave them a tough schedule coming out.
Yeah, they did.
And if you've ever been able to watch a game so far this season, they've been kicking Caitlin Clark all over the floor. Like
a downed puppy.
Yo.
It's kind of like so. It's getting sad to see.
Sad. Yeah,
it's getting really sad to see.
It sucks to see. But she gets up and she keeps fighting though.
Yeah, she doing her thing. She doing her thing.
Yeah. It's going. Like we always say, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while.
Hey, be patient. Just be patient.
New York Liberty looking good. They're looking strong.
Looking very good.
They look poised for another run.
Yes. Probably come down to them in the Aces again.
Yeah, I can see that. Connecticut looks good too. 3-0 right now.
Connecticut.
DeWine
strong defensive team. That's why I love them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this WNBA season is actually really gonna be. It's gonna be pretty.
It's
cool.
gonna be fire. Yeah.
But
keep following along with it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But till then, happy Memorial Day to everybody.
Ooh.
Hope you all have a great weekend. Hope you all have a blessed weekend. And
eat some hot dogs.
Yes, eat some hamburgers, burgers, and chicken, and all that good stuff.
All that good. It's macaroni salad.
Watch some good basketball. Maybe go out to a baseball game or whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay, yes sir.
Yeah. But till then, I'm your host Cam Silver.
I'm your co-host Kyle Silver,
and this is the Silver Boys.
Thank you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Cam Silver from the Silver Boys. If you like our content, subscribe to the channel and like our videos. Thank you for watching.